Is working a full-time career ideal for the modern day woman today? I don't know. I wanted to have this conversation with you guys as well as take you along for some fall homemaking and, just talk and have little chit chats. If you guys are new here, my name is Noelle. I do all kind of homemaking, cooking from scratch, thrifting, a little bit of motherhood. And we are a low income family of five living in California. I'm going to take you along my day of homemaking as well as, bouncing back and having different chit chats about motherhood. Today is kind of our topic. If you guys ever have topics, let me know down below. I would love to hear some topics you guys would like to have me speak on in my homemaking videos. I have a baby sitting right next to me. So if you hear her trying to say hello to you guys, then, you know, she's right here with me. We are starting out this morning by making a very special treat for fall. I know everyone is like moving on to Christmas and stuff already, but this video was filmed maybe like a week and a half ago. Anywho, I wanted to still share it, but I know everyone's moving on to Christmas. Don't worry, your Christmas content will be coming, but I am not really one of those creators that does Christmas in September or whatever. I kind of really live in the moment and by the seasons as they are coming. We are making apple cider donuts. My kids really wanted me to make donuts this season, and I told them I would, so I'm finally getting around to it. I will leave the recipes down below for all of the things. I am a more measure with your heart kind of person, but I will do my best to leave recipes down below for you all. Apple cider donuts is a beautiful delicacy for fall. I absolutely enjoy them. I know when you go like to the pumpkin patch or the apple orchard and you can find apple cider donuts, it's just amazing. Trader Joe's has some pretty good ones, but honestly, these were better than the Trader Joe's ones, I must say. I am going to kind of talk you through this a little bit. I took my reduced apple cider that I reduced on the stove, did a whole cup and reduced it to a half a cup. And reducing it on the stove just kind of evaporates some of that moisture. Kind of evaporates some of that moisture from the apple cider. And I made it a half a cup, and then I'm mixing it in with apple butter. If you don't know how to make apple butter, it's pretty simple. It is raining pretty hard outside, so if you guys can also hear the rain, hope you guys don't mind. But apple butter, if you don't know how to make apple butter, it's very simple. All you do is put applesauce on the stove and add some spices if you want to, and really just cook out some of that water and make it nice and thick, and it will also turn more of like a brownie color. That's how you make apple butter. It's pretty simple. It's delicious, really good in baked goods. And this recipe does call for sour cream. I know it's weird, but it's actually very surprisingly good in baked goods. Sour cream is for moisture and texture. You're not going to actually taste sour cream. It is for moisture and texture. Don't worry, you're not going to taste sour cream. I am not a fan really of sour cream like at all on anything, but I do like it in cakes and donuts and stuff like that because like I said, it's more of a texture thing. You want the softness, okay? And I am adding some homemade vanilla extract. And it is a cake donut, so you are going to be mixing wet and dry. If you're familiar with making cakes, that process is pretty common. You always want to mix wet and dry, but then you're also making a dough. So this recipe is very interesting, and I've watched several people do this before, but this is a technique that I absolutely loved. I believe the first person I saw do this was Claire Savitz, but it works really well. I'm scooping out the dough in like little, spoonfuls, little scoops. And then I'm going to take my floured hands, pat it down, and then roll it with parchment paper underneath. I'm going to roll it with parchment paper on top to give me like a nice surface because this dough is really sticky and can be very hard to work with. So you want to make sure you're using parchment paper and flour because you do not want it to be, a sticky mess more than it already is, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it because they are delicious. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to also pop it in the freezer for a few minutes because I want it to kind of harden up a little bit and the gluten to form and that flour to really kind of absorb into our liquids and just make a really good dough. So we're going to do that. I always think about motherhood and having a full-time job and how a lot of people are managing that. I have definitely been in corporate settings many times before. I have been a stay-at-home homemaker since I was 21, and I could not have made a better decision in my life. At least at this point, I can say that. I mean, I don't know what the future holds. I absolutely love being a homemaker and serving my family. I used to work for MAC Cosmetics for many years, and it was a very interesting company. I walked away with a lot of good skills. It was actually my first ever job. I used to do a lot of freelance makeup in high school. And when I turned 18, I wanted to be a makeup artist at MAC. So I applied. I loved it for many years and then, fell out of love with it. The company is pretty corrupt, in my opinion. They're pretty prejudiced. If you are a Black woman, I'm not going to say woman of color, but because I don't know the experience of that, but I know as a Black woman, it's a whole thing. And there's a lot of issues there, in my opinion. Allegedly, don't want Mac coming after me. But yeah, it was an experience for sure. And I am very grateful for that experience because I learned a lot of customer service and a lot of skills that I think everybody should learn. I also worked at Victoria's Secret and security at the airport. I've worked a few other places after I left MAC just to get, some footing in other experiences of my life. But ultimately, when I was 21, I decided I wanted to just be a full-time stay-at-home mom. Now, it was not easy. I have a whole other video topic on that. It was not easy to make that decision financially, for sure. I am back to what I'm doing in the kitchen. I am poking little holes out for the donuts and making donut holes out of the little, extra pieces of dough because we don't want to waste any food here. I am using something I used to use. It's like a little strainer thing. Use what you have, okay? I use my biscuit cutter and my little strainer thing to make the donut holes. Use what you have in your kitchen to make things happen. You don't have to just go out and buy a whole bunch of different stuff for everything you want to make. Just be creative, innovative, and just use your brain, okay? Be creative. I'm also bringing my oil to 350, which is very important when frying food, especially cake donuts. You do not want it to be too hot or they'll not fully cook all the way through. And you don't want it to be too cold because it will take on a lot of oil and it'll be dense and oily and you don't want that. So 350 is the magic number for these donuts, okay? I am using a thermometer. Oh my gosh, can you believe I'm actually using a kitchen tool such as a thermometer? That's usually not me, but when it comes to frying things, my husband's usually the fryer. We don't do this very often. Yeah, I am using a thermometer to make sure I'm getting that temperature right because I don't want to burn the dough that I just worked so hard to create, okay? I have worked many different places was my point, and ultimately just decided when I found out that I was pregnant that I was not going to go back to working for any corporate company. My husband was working and he was working at really, lower end jobs like pizza places and just anything really to pay the bills at that point because one, we couldn't afford daycare. So I had to stay home. There was no way. Also, my pregnancy with my first son was very unplanned. I didn't know I was pregnant until halfway through. That's a whole other story, a video on my channel about that somewhere over the years. But yeah, I didn't know I was pregnant until halfway through. And my periods were irregular, all these things. So I'm finding out that I'm pregnant and I don't have much time to prepare. And I just knew I wanted to be a full-time stay-at-home mom. Now, homemaker was not in my vocabulary. That was not a thing to me back then. Honestly, I just thought it was stay-at-home mom. I didn't know much about homemaking. Like, we used to eat out a bunch. We were not doing anything like we were doing now. I was only 21 when I was pregnant and 22 when I had him, as well as I got married at 20. So I am quite, I'm a younger mom. And these donuts came out beautiful, by the way. I absolutely love them. However, the cinnamon sugar was like not sticking very well. So I brushed on a little bit of butter to make it stick a lot better. And that was kind of the key. But here are the donuts. Ta-da. Some of them are beauties. Some of them are like, kind of funky. But the kids helped me and had so much fun. Never say no to them in the kitchen. And they were absolutely delicious. Remember, if things don't always look beautiful, doesn't mean they don't taste good. It's all about how they taste. Okay, look comes second. Always keep that in mind. Here's me putting up some pumpkins I got from a local friend farmer of mine. They were so gracious to gift us some pumpkins, which was really sweet. But yeah, I knew I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom and I really wanted to prioritize family. Now, this conversation is truly not for my single mamas out there. I see you, I hear you. I've actually been a single mom for a short period of time, but we're not going to get into that right now. However, I'm not talking to the single moms because I know it's almost impossible nowadays to try and stay home if you're a single mom, if you're not working from home. I already know that's, really probably out of the cards. And I'm so sorry that it is because a lot of women would like to stay home with their kids. However, it's not easy to do so, but it's absolutely wonderful. And I highly recommend it to anyone and everyone that can do it. Now, am I saying that you should not go to school and get an education? I am not saying that at all. I'm not saying a man is a plan. I am not saying any of that. I just believe that if you are going to have children, I believe in Jesus, and I just feel like, a woman's place is at home with the children. I know that's not for everybody, and I know some people might get so upset for me saying that. I'm showing you my little thrifted fall quilt that I got a few years ago. We love this quilt so much and use it all throughout the fall and winter. And I'm just like adding little touches here and there to make my home a little bit cozier for the season, even though you guys are seeing this kind of later on, in the season. Winter is approaching and fall's almost over, but I'm kind of just putting my house back together, honestly. We did this already in the beginning of fall. Anyway, I believe that, I want to be the maker of my home and serve my family. I think it is absolutely beautiful to serve your family. I have a rug here that I'm going to lay down that's been sitting in my closet. I believe I got it on Amazon. It's like from that Lowly collection and Magnolia. It's a washable rug. It's been sitting in my closet for quite some time that I don't know, I haven't put it down yet. But now that it's getting colder, I really wanted to have a nice cozy rug. So that's what I'm doing. But I really wanted to be the maker of my home. And I think it's beautiful to serve your family. And nowadays, in today's culture, serving your family, serving your husband, being submissive, all those things are like looked down upon. But like, can we get back to that? I feel like there is nothing wrong with serving the people you love. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a say in a relationship or anything like that. I just think that serving your family is beautiful. I love to serve my husband. I love to serve my children and take care of my home. I take so much pride and I get so much joy out of it. Is it always easy? Absolutely not. And I have days where I'm like, I just don't feel like doing all this today. But I always remember and have time in prayer when I'm thinking things like that. I'm playing with my kids and the vacuum. They like to be chased by the vacuum. By the way, don't buy this vacuum. I highly don't recommend it. This is one of those products that was like recommended by influencers. Do not buy this vacuum. It's absolutely terrible. So I will not be linking that or anything. It barely picked up what I needed it to. And my camera turned off when we put this rug down, but the kids are already on it, comfortably playing. They absolutely love it. This is definitely what was missing from their little play school area, and they love it. But anywho, I definitely think in today's modern day that being a homemaker is definitely looked down upon, and people think you're wasting your potential, or you didn't go to school, you didn't do this, you're not making money. And I don't believe that any of that is true. I think that homemaking is an art. I think that homemaking is absolutely beautiful, and truly you could have no better job. You could have no better job in the world than to be serving your household and loving on your family and providing for them, keeping a tidy home, making good food, giving all the love, homeschooling. I think all that stuff is absolutely wonderful. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. I always get emotional when I talk about it because I truly feel so grateful to be in this position, to be able to be home with my children, make YouTube videos, really hone my craft. And I always say this, but time is such a luxury that is priceless. I'm showing you some of our favorite fall books that we have been loving this season, as well as many other seasons in the past. I'm so incredibly grateful to be able to make videos for you guys. I mean, technically, I guess I'm a working from home mom because I do make content, I do get paid for it. Shout out to you guys for supporting my channel and my platform. Really appreciate you guys. I'm showing you what the other side of my room looks like. The other side is like nice and put together, kind of. And then, we have Legos. And that is totally fine. My floor is always covered with many different toys. We've got wooden toys. We've got Legos. We've got like magnetiles, all the things on the floor all the time because I'm a mom of three. And toys live on my floor. My children pick them up every night. And, it's okay. I'm taking some frozen bread out of the freezer because I need to make sandwiches for the kids because I haven't made bread really a lot lately. I've been really busy doing other things. So that always comes in handy. Freeze bread if you can. Definitely helpful. I'm putting on a simmer pot because I absolutely love a good simmer pot. I will leave her link down below. This sweet mama was so kind to send me her simmer pot, and I will leave her link down below. She has such a nice shop. They make your house smell so good. And I definitely saved the simmer pot after, put it in a mason jar and kept reheating it. And it makes your house just smell like fall, even when you're not baking anything yummy. I am doing a quick little thrift haul for you guys. But first, a bubbly. I had to have a beverage. I'm having a sparkling black tea peach thing, and I opened it. It was in the freezer and it exploded all over me. So I decided to double cup it because it was just like coming out like a volcano and I just needed to do something. So I put it in another cup. And yeah, so I'm showing you this beautiful shade that I got for like $3 at the thrift store. It's gorgeous. Definitely my vintage antique style. Some very serious cuddles are happening right now with this sweet sleeping baby that I have right here. So if you hear her snoring, that's why. Another picture frame because you never can have too many. Whenever I see these affordably priced, I pick those up because I love a good gallery wall. A lot of you have been telling me to check out estate sales. I absolutely need to do that. Find some in my area. I had a kitchen scale that broke a long time ago, so here is a brand new one for like $5. Cannot beat that, and it works great. And then I also picked up some cute little Christmas cups. We are not a believer in Santa in this house. We don't tell our kids he's real, but I do love a good Santa like item. Like if you feel me, he's like for the vibes. Like I don't know. I just love having a few little Santa things for the Christmas time. I just think he's cute or whatever. And then I got this cute little hand painted cup. I'm going to have some really good, delightful eggnog lattes in here. You already know. And a cute basket because I collect baskets as well. This was like $2. I'm all here for voice crack. I'm all here for a good thrift store find That is very affordable. This bowl was like $5, and I definitely need more bowls because I always have a lot of things going and cooking at one time. I always look for cups when I'm there because my children break cups here and there and cups start disappearing. One, they don't disappear. I know where they go. They go in the trash when they break. And I also got this commuter's cup, I believe is what it's called. I absolutely adore this thing and have been having coffee out of it every single day for like a few weeks now. And I just love the shape, but I love the commuter cup. And then I found this really cool cutter. I thought this would be really cute to make really anything. It has that really cool scalloped edge and the straight edge. So I really liked that for making biscuits or pie dough or anything like that where you really want that cute little scallop shape. I love it. And then I got a little knife serrated spreading tool, which is nice always. And then I got this meat thermometer, which does actually work. I was surprised because I didn't think it was going to work, but it does. And it works pretty well. And then, of course, some more spoons and some forks because it's a running joke around here that they go missing. I think we know where they go. They're either in the trash or outside or under a bed or something, but they go missing. I thought these were really pretty and they were very affordable. They were like 30 cents each. So I grabbed a whole bunch of those. I only showed you one of each because I don't feel like taking out the rest of them and we're already using them. But those are the ones that were left in there just to show you because they were part of my haul. But yeah, so that's my little thrift haul. I also got this bean bag that I didn't show. I'm actually sitting on the bean bag right now while I'm recording the voiceover. It's like a faux beige leather bean bag, and that was only $3. Like, absolutely great find, and it's very comfortable. We've been getting a lot of use out of that. I am going to make some pumpkin shaped sourdough for the fall time, and I have the kids helping me out. They love doing the pumpkin shape. They find this so fun. So back to our topic on staying at home. I was in nursing school, and I actually dropped out of nursing school when I found out that I was pregnant, as well as my mom was sick and I had to take care of her and some other personal things. Now, I don't think this is something I wish I didn't do. I wish I would have at least finished nursing school. And even if I didn't use my degree, I wanted to at least have that because you never know what can happen. You know, when you're just financially dependent on one person, it is a little bit scary. You never know what can happen in your future. And you always want to make sure that you and your kids and whoever is going to be taken care of. You want to be independent. So I don't think I would tell my daughters to do that. Maybe I'll go back one day, but I highly doubt it because kids keep you busy, maybe when they get a lot older. But as of right now, got my hands full with my children, and I wouldn't trade anything for being at home with them all the time. I think it is so cool to be the sole person raising them and not just handing them over to a very corrupt system like the school system. That is a system, you guys, a place where a lot of indoctrination happens when it comes to agendas and narratives that, the government likes to push. I know a lot of you will try to tell me that the government works for you and blah, 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 blah. No, you guys, I'm like anti-government. I hate to tell you, but I am no believer in the government, and I don't think you really should be either. That's a whole other thing. I am absolutely not here for that. But I was rearranging my fireplace because my kids actually broke one of those picture frames, and so I needed to do something up there. Now I'm just doing a whole bunch of dishes because they kind of piled up on me. And we had chili for dinner. I'm changing out this light. But I just wanted to say that I would recommend my children going to school. And then if they did decide to have kids, I would encourage them, if they wanted to stay home with them. No one's going to take that degree from you. But I do think it is a really good idea to get an education, set yourself up for success, even if you don't end up using that education. And I know some of you will be like, oh, well, that's silly. You spent all that money, student debt. No, like having something to fall back on is always a good idea, always. Did drop out of nursing school to be a full-time homemaker and take care of my mom because she was sick at the time. And I do wish that I would have finished nursing school, but I do not regret staying at home and full on just not being a 9 to 5 person. I do work full time, I do content creation. Hello, how are you? As I'm talking to you guys. But I think that staying home with your kids is the most beautiful, most challenging thing you will do. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. You get all the moments every day, all day. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. I would not trade it for anything. Now, if you're going to be a stay at home wife, mother, I do think there are some things you should always consider. When getting married and only depending on one income. Because you do have to be careful with that for sure. Like if you guys have a family business, I would say make sure your name is on it. If you guys buy a house, make sure your name is on it. You know, make sure you have access to bank accounts and all of that stuff. You got to be careful because you don't want anyone controlling you, of course. Because I know there's this narrative out here, oh, whoever earns the money is in full control of like everything. And you don't want to get, stuck in a bad situation, of course, because you just never know what can happen in life. But, make sure you're protected, I would definitely say. And it's not bad to have any kind of income either. I think that also gets a little misconstrued in the homemaking community as far as like trad wives and whatever else. Like it's good to have a source of income. And if you can do it while you take care of your family, that is absolutely awesome. I love that. To all of my young ladies that are following this channel, my advice to you would definitely be to, before you have children or get married, get yourself an education, get some work experience. And then if you do, get married and have children, I'm not saying you have to wait till you're 30 or whatever, even though 30 is not old to start a family. I would definitely say set yourself up for success and have a fallback plan. Remember, like a degree, no one can take that away from you. So spend your young few years straight out of high school getting that education and that degree, because that's what I'm going to tell my girls, and I hope that they do that. And remember, a man is not a plan. Set yourself up for success. And, if you want to be a homemaker a little bit down the line, I highly encourage it to stay home with your kids. Do the homeschool. Do the everyday in and outs. They get to see you every day, all day. I think it is so beneficial for children to have one parent staying home. Now, I know this is not ideal for everybody. For honestly, probably a lot of people in America, it is hard living on one income. We are doing that right now while my husband is in school full time. I know I'm going to get the comments talking about that's unacceptable. He needs to be working. Okay, listen, mind your business. He is an amazing man. He has supported us for many years since I was 21, and it's his turn now. I am making the income while he is full-time in school. I want to do that for him because he deserves that. And that way he's going to be making quite a lot more money than hopefully he was before. So it will all be worth it and work out in the end. He will be done soon with school and everything will be great. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys some encouragement because I do get questions from my young, inspiring wannabe homemakers in the future. And that would definitely be my advice is do not forget about the education. Make sure you do that for yourself if that is something you're interested in doing before having a family, because you can always go back to that when your kids get older or just in case something happens and you don't want to be in that same situation anymore, or if you just really need to earn some more money. It is possible living on one income. You might just have to live under your means, but you could still have an absolutely beautiful life. That is what we've been doing for my whole 20s, and I do not regret it one bit. It is not always easy. You will face lots of challenges, but I love almost going into my 30s, and I already have 3 children. I already have the husband. I already have the house. I love where we're at in life right now, and I'm so grateful and give all the glory to God. I had no idea that young 21-year-old me would be here where I am now. We have been through so many different things. I share a little bit about our life in the past few videos, but we've been through a lot, and God is so good, and here we are. I would not take back really anything at all. Besides, I wish I would have finished my nursing, and who knows, I can always go back. It's never too late to go back when my kids get older. But I love being in my home so much that home is everything to me. And working a 9 to 5 and being in the rat race, it just doesn't seem ideal. It's really not ideal. I feel like for most women, you are stressed out every single day trying to be a homemaker, a mom, as well as work a 9 to 5 or more than that is just not ideal and not what we were meant to do. I think it's just too much. It's too overwhelming. It's too much going on. You can't wear all the hats. If you're focused more on work, then maybe you're dropping the ball at home or vice versa. It's just difficult, and we weren't meant to do it all. In my personal opinion, we weren't meant to do it all. And they used to have villages, they used to help each other out. It was not meant for just one person to do basically all of it, or even two people. The nuclear family is a very interesting concept we could talk about in another video, but bring back the village, bring back communal living. We need a team, okay? Call in the team. Tell me what you think about, is it ideal for women to work full time and be a mom? I know a lot of us don't have a choice. I absolutely understand that. I actually was a working mom. I kind of forgot to tell that, but I was a working mom back when I had my second daughter, and it just was not working out. It was very stressful. It was not ideal. I literally was home for no period of time, never saw my kid. It was terrible. And that's really when I made that decision that I needed to really choose. Do I want to be at home and really do this mom thing, or do I want to be a career woman? I'm not saying that it's bad for women to make money or have a career, but I just feel like if you have children, it might be best to choose one. If you want to pour, I just feel like it's hard to pour your love into all of the things. And I know, again, not a lot of us have a choice, but if you live below your means, you might be able to live on one income. I'm just saying, give it a thought. It's not for everybody, but let me know your thoughts down below. I know you guys will anyway. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.